is a question mark today. Many want to believe or many want to have faith, but they don't want to accept any organized religions or their doctrines or the dogmas because they don't understand what it means. The best definition we have of faith is in the letter written by a unknown author to the Hebrews in chapter 11. The author says, faith is conviction of things we have not seen. Conviction comes from experience. Without experience, no one can get convinced. For example, how do you get convinced I am there? You have seen me. You have heard me. Even if you have not touched me, at least you have an experience of seeing or you have an experience of hearing. How do you know sugar is sweet? You have tasted it, you have experienced it, and that makes you to get convinced of sugar that it is sweet. In every life, we have different types of experience. Our life is made up of different types of experience. Some of our experiences can be positive. Some of our experience can be negative. Some of our experience can be neutral. But all our experiences are forming in us conviction. When I go to a foreign country, my experience with that country, coming from the people, makes me to have positive conviction about the country. Same way, lot of positive experiences we have. And when we talk of God experience, it is an experience of real love. All of us are created to love and to be loved. And when everyone begins to experience that being loved, and I am convinced that I become a lovable person. So being loved makes a person lovable. And the more a person becomes lovable, the more the person is convinced that there is God who is love. Basically, it is an experience. And for this, we need to have an openness. As Mother Teresa put it very clearly, fruit of silence is prayer. Fruit of prayer is faith. In the silence of our heart, we come in contact with an experience beyond space and time. In the total silence of our heart, we come in touch with the reality beyond our body. And that touching reality called love or God. And when we all sit in silence, we begin to experience that love entering into our hearts, entering into our minds. And this experience is called prayer. Prayer is not just speaking or not just listening, but prayer is a loving relationship. A loving relationship with oneself, a loving relationship with others. Thus, I am able to enter into loving relationship with the reality beyond me and others. that reality of love I call God. So when we enter into this experience of love, that becomes prayer. And when I begin to experience this love, I begin to get convinced of my life is to be loving. Actually, faith is not just a doctrine. Faith is not just a dogma. Doctrines and dogmas are languages of expressing this experience of God. When people experience God, they want to put it in language. And no language can sufficiently express what I experience. For example, when I have headache, I say headache, but I cannot express more than this. That is the only language I have. But headache is more than a language. It is an experience. And experience can be shared. And this sharing of experience encourages others to encounter that reality of my experience. So, faith begins with experience. Experience forms conviction. And this conviction we share with one another through our attitudes and behaviors. Faith is not in words. Faith is indeed expressed in our attitudes and behaviors. If I say I met God yesterday, but in my attitude there is no change, or if I say I met God during my prayer, but in my behavior there is no change, I continue to be as selfish as before, then there is no faith experience. Every faith experience transforms a person, a selfish person to selfless person, an arrogant person to become gentle person, to a proud person to become humble person. And this experience of transformation is what I call attitudinal or behavioral change. Attitudinal and behavioral change is the result of our faith experience. All of us carry lot of negative experiences which are formed into negative convictions, negative attitudes, negative behaviors. In the computer language, I would say all of us are carrying virus downloaded from our parents, downloaded from our families, downloaded from our society. Now, what we need to do? We need to delete this virus, that negative experience, that negative conviction, that negative attitude, that negative behavior, which is simply virus, which do not help us to become really happy human beings. The more we can delete this virus, either through reformatting our own life. I call it reformation or reformatting. Reformation of our life through putting the program through a new experience, new conviction, new attitudes, new behaviors. And that is what Bible says, I will give you a new heart. In the book of Ezekiel 36:26, I will give you a new heart full of flesh, and I will take out of you the heart of stone. So the old program, the hard-hearted, stony-hearted program is removed, and soft-hearted and heart full of flesh is given to us. And this transformation is faith. So let us encourage ourselves to have this encounter with this God who is love. Every day taking some time to experience His love present in our hearts, His love present in the hearts of others, His love present in the creation. The more I begin to experience His love present in my heart, present in the hearts of others, present in the creation, I become more loving person. That is to say, I become more believing person. Let us become believers, not mere doctrines and dogmas, but let us become believers in love. Believe in love, and we shall